Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into the fascinating role of social media in sharpening our self-controlling power. It's like, a tool that can actually train your inner discipline if you use it the right
Yeah,
way.
exactly. Right, it's funny how a platform known for distraction can, with a twist, be used as a self-improvement arena.
Absolutely. It almost seems counterintuitive, you know? On one side, social media's got this overwhelming influence over our attention, and on the other, it can test your self-control skills to the max.
I see that. So let's explore. What's the main proposition? How is it suggested we harness this power?
Well, basically, the idea is to set a clear goal before browsing. Like, if you decide to log in, you determine beforehand why you're there, whether it's for chatting, checking news, or even learning something new.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Setting a purpose seems really key. That initial step reminds me of planning your workout session. The intention makes all the difference.
Exactly. It's like, you're writing a roadmap for your digital journey, and once you've set that goal and started, the challenge then is to actually spot the moment when that goal is reached, kind of like having a mental check-in alert.
Mm-hmm. I love that concept. It sounds a bit like gamification, where you win by simply realizing, okay, I've accomplished my task here. But is that always so straightforward?
Well, that's where it gets tricky. The article points out that initially, it's not the easiest thing to just recognize that you're done. You might, get lost in the endless feed and then wonder
Yeah,
where
I
the
totally
time
agree.
went.
So it's like a repeated habit. The more you practice it, the more you train that self-controlling muscle, right?
Absolutely. Think about, successful people, always leading a disciplined routine. They eat, work, and sleep when they need to, without the distractions. So by setting a goal on social media, you challenge yourself to stop at the right moment.
Right on. That's interesting because it flips the typical narrative. We often see social media as a time waster, but here it becomes a tool for building self-discipline.
Yes, exactly. It's not about blaming social media entirely. It's about, using it intentionally as a test bed. And it's a practice where the reward is improved self-control and, ultimately, more time for things that truly matter.
I get that. But don't you think that's a bit oversimplified? I mean, the addictive nature of social media is pretty strong. What if someone just can't train themselves that easily using it as a framework?
Good point. And that's a valid critique. While it's not an instant fix, it is a way to gradually build that internal power. Just like learning a musical instrument, it takes time, practice, and sometimes a lot of frustrating stops and starts.
Exactly. Right? And the beauty here is that you don't need any external resources or expensive tools. Everything is already inside you. It's like, self-motivation on tap.
Yep, and that's one of the most empowering aspects of self-control. It's free, and it's all about knowing when to say, okay, I'm done here. That moment of decision is like a mini celebration of your internal strength.
Absolutely. I find it fascinating how this method reframes our relationship with social media, from passive consumption to active self-discipline training.
Right, you are. And it doesn't stop at just social media. The principles here extend to other areas of life too. It's really about, honing that ability to stop when you've accomplished something or when it's time to refocus on priorities.
True. It's almost like having a built-in alarm system that tells you when to pull back before you fall into a time sink.
Exactly. It's like a self-imposed timeout, right? Once you detect that the goal is met, perhaps after a few minutes of browsing, you immediately step away. This act reinforces your discipline each time, gradually strengthening that self-control muscle.
I like that analogy. And it's not just about stopping. It's also about making the most of the extra time you gain. People often feel better when they're not endlessly scrolling because that time can, be invested in more fulfilling activities.
Exactly. It's a win-win scenario. By stopping at the right moment, you prevent wasted hours and, at the same time, bolster your ability to focus on tasks that propel you forward.
Yeah, that's so true. One thing that stands out is how this method relates to stress and anxiety. I mean, the article touches on how endless scrolling can lead to mental exhaustion and even disorders. Turning that habit around could really help in managing such negative impacts.
Precisely. Social media in excess can cause what many term social phobia and affect our mental health. But by practicing self-control, by pausing at the right moment, we can combat those feelings and preserve our well-being.
Absolutely. There's a clear call to awareness here. It's almost like a wake-up call to reclaim the control over our own time and mental space, rather than letting external signals dictate it.
Exactly. It's about bridging that gap between technology and personal strength. And it's interesting because it invites you to, be intentional about every moment you spend on social media.
Yes, absolutely. It's almost like turning a weakness into a strength by employing the very thing that challenges us.
Exactly. It's like using a sparring partner in a boxing match. Social media can throw punches if you let it, but if you learn to anticipate and react properly, you can build your endurance and skill.
That's a cool way to put it. I also really appreciate the emphasis on self-responsibility in the method. The idea that no external entity can give you self-control. It's all on you.
Right. And that's a critical point. It's the notion that the biggest power is within ourselves. Even if you slip up, every time you consciously stop and refocus, you're practicing and refining that internal
Exactly.
power.
Self-discipline truly is the ultimate game changer. And applying this method to other areas, like maybe managing work tasks or personal habits, shows its versatility. It steps beyond just social media.
True. It's essentially a blueprint for self-management. Whether it's work, fitness, or even relationships, having a goal and knowing when to stop to regroup can lead to better outcomes across the board.
Yeah, that versatility is impressive. But let me challenge a little. What about people who have a hard time even setting goals in the first place? I mean, aren't there deeper issues at play?
That's a fair point. For those individuals, it might require additional steps, like perhaps mindfulness or even professional guidance, to break free from habitual distractions. The method is a starting line, not a cure-all.
That's true.
Exactly. It's a tool in the toolbox. For many, simply adding a framework to their social media usage can be illuminating, but it's important to recognize that deep-seated habits might take more multifaceted approaches to change.
Yeah, exactly. And yet it's inspiring that such a simple strategy can unlock improvements in self-mastery. It gives hope that if you can control your digital habits, you can control larger aspects of your life.
Absolutely, it's the kind of incremental change that builds up over time. It's like, brick by brick. The small wins add up to a major transformation in how you manage your time and energy.
Absolutely. It really illustrates that self-discipline is not an innate talent. It's a skill that everyone has the potential to cultivate.
Exactly. Even if it starts with something as simple as managing your social media usage, every step is a victory. So, next time you're about to dive into your feed, set that goal, detect the moment of fulfillment, and then, just walk away. It's all about reclaiming your time and nurturing that inner strength.
Right on. And that, folks, is the essence of turning a potentially distracting tool into a stepping stone for self-improvement.
Yes, it's about making the technology work for us instead of us being at its mercy. It truly is a mindset shift, one that can lead to success across many areas of life.
Absolutely. With that, it's clear that every social media session could be an opportunity to exercise self-control, just as any challenge in life is a chance to grow.
Exactly. So the next time you log in, remember, you're in control. Embrace that power, and yeah, keep improving.
Right, keep pushing forward. And that's all for our exploration today. Turning everyday habits into stepping stones for inner success. Thanks for tuning in, and keep challenging yourself.